What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel and you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video. We got breaking news. The Raiders have finally announced the starter for the 2024 regular season. Antonio Pierce came out this morning, stated that he spoke with Luke Getsy, Tom Telesco. They made the decision this morning and they have decided to go with Gardner Minshew as our quarterback one moving into the 2024 regular season. Now let's talk about it. Going into this game, I felt like Gardner Minshew maybe had a slight edge over O'Connell just due to the fact that it seemed like they had been neck and neck in training camp, but I liked how Gardner Minshew looked last week against the Vikings over O'Connell. But last night, Gardner Minshew did not look good when he was out there. We were unable to really be productive on offense. He did have that big chunk play to Trey Tucker, but at the end of the day, it resulted in a field goal. And he had a couple plays that could have very well turned into interceptions. After that, Aiden O'Connell went in. The offense seemed to move the ball a little bit better under him. We got a touchdown drive inside the red zone with O'Connell. Everything really seemed to be pointing in the direction that Aiden O'Connell was going to win this job, but he had one crucial mistake. He had a very bad throw that resulted in a pick six for the Dallas Cowboys, and unfortunately for Aiden O'Connell, that was his last snap of the night, and it really shows that mistake costed him big time. You can very well make the argument that if he did not throw that interception, he probably would be named the starter this morning. But ultimately, he threw it, and it's now official. Minshew Mania will be the quarterback to start this season. Now, overall, this was a very tough decision in my opinion because neither one has truly separated themselves. If it's true of all the reports that they were neck and neck in training camp, and I look at it in the preseason too, I mean, they were essentially neck and neck as well. I liked how Minshew played a little bit more last week. But this week, I mean, they both looked pretty bad. Aiden O'Connell was playing better, but with that pick six, that definitely leveled out the playing field. And really with Aiden O'Connell, that's supposed to be one of the biggest upsides and strengths to Aiden O'Connell compared to Gardner Minshew is his ball security, protecting the football. And unfortunately for O'Connell, he gave up a touchdown, so that didn't look good on his resume when it comes to fighting for this job. But let's talk about it, Raider Nation. Did Antonio Pierce make his first mistake as a Raiders head coach? Look, personally, with the competition being this close, I don't necessarily think it's a mistake to name Gardner Minshew over Aiden O'Connell. I mean, it's such a close contest. Now, look, I'm sure a lot of you guys would have preferred to have Aiden O'Connell. But me personally, just going based on my gut feeling, I mean, Antonio Pierce is a defensive-minded head coach. It did seem like Antonio Pierce maybe slightly favored Aiden O'Connell. But in a competition battle like this being so close, I think experience definitely plays a huge factor. And ultimately, too, I wouldn't be shocked if Antonio Pierce let Luke Getsy have a lot of input on who he wanted to be the starter. Antonio Pierce doesn't strike me as the guy that's going to overrule what his positional coaches believe. And like I said, in a competition battle this close, it really kind of comes down to who you prefer, what kind of style at the quarterback position you rather have out there. With Gardner Minshew, he is definitely more mobile. He can make more things happen when the play breaks down. He can throw on the move, but the downfall with Gardner Minshew is he can get you in bad situations sometimes with his decision making. There's definitely certain throws where he probably shouldn't make them. He's a little bit more aggressive in that aspect. And Aiden O'Connell, he seems to be a more conservative style quarterback. I think he's more consistent throwing the football with his accuracy. But a couple things that I think kind of hurt him in the preseason was the fact that we didn't really see him make big chunk plays down the field with his arm. A lot of us kind of speculated that Aiden O'Connell would be a huge advantage in that sense, being able to throw the ball down the field, get vertical, and we really didn't see that with O'Connell. And of course, the interception was not a good look from him either. Now, Gardner Minshew doesn't have the biggest arm, but he was able to make big chunk plays in the preseason. And you saw a nice little connection between him and Trey Tucker, throwing it deep. So it is a very difficult decision. I think the Raiders prioritized experience at this point, and I also think mobility was a key factor that they looked into. And in that regard, Gardner Minshew definitely has a clear step over O'Connell. He can throw on the move. He can scramble a little bit. and he can improvise when the pocket breaks down, and just the upside he has with potentially getting big chunk plays down the field. Now with O'Connell, is this a huge letdown for him? I mean, me personally, if you want to be a franchise quarterback in this league, it doesn't look good for him that he wasn't able to beat out a veteran, journeyman, essentially a backup quarterback thus far in his career. And also listen to what Antonio Pierce had to say about the decision making going into this move.
Good morning, Antonio. Not in terms of necessarily all the specifics, but what would you say outweighed in favor of Gardner over Aiden?
Yeah, experience, the operation, the processing, just everything we saw in practice. Some of it showed up in the games. A lot of stuff we can get better at. I don't think anything here is a finished product. But based off of where we want to go in the first quarter of the season, we feel like Gardner gives us the best opportunity.
So one thing I thought was very telling was the fact that it seems like Gardner Minshew gives them more what they're looking for in the first 4 weeks, which is definitely a very interesting comment to make, because that just shows that they're still not 100% sold on Gardner Minshew. And like you said, nothing is solidified. The Raiders very well could make a change sometime during the regular season if Gardner Minshew doesn't perform. And even vice versa, if O'Connell would have got the start, there was no guarantee that he was going to start all 17 games unless he went out there and performed at a high level. So overall, Raider Nation, I do like certain things that Gardner Minshew brings to this offense, but I can't sit here and act like he also doesn't have some downfalls, which he definitely does. Overall, though, I'm going to be 100% honest. I am not feeling very confident at all with the current quarterback situation. I thought O'Connell showed some interesting things in his rookie season, and I thought this was going to be a big year for him to take a leap forward and really just kind of solidify himself as the starter for the Raiders moving forward. He wasn't able to do that. Gardner Minshew definitely gives you some moments of magic where he can make things happen down the field, but at the same time, he also makes some boneheaded plays here and there. And really the biggest thing that also scares me is the fact that we really don't have another plan B at the quarterback position right now. This was a big reason why I wanted us to draft a quarterback this year in the NFL draft. The Raiders didn't do that. Now I understand it was almost impossible to get certain guys in the first round, but I still think that them not at least taking a flyer on one of these later round quarterbacks could potentially bite them in the ass. If these quarterbacks cannot perform this year, it's almost like the saying goes, when you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. Now, hopefully I'm 100% wrong about that, but there's no doubt that this news was a shocker to me. I thought O'Connell was going to get the nod just due to this being so close. I essentially thought Antonio Pierce was going to lean towards him if it was neck and neck like this, and essentially have Aiden O'Connell lose his starting job in a sense and give him the nod for week 1 of the regular season. That didn't happen, but everything can change depending on how we fare out in the first month of the season, like Antonio Pierce stated. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in that comment section down below. What do you guys think of the decision of Gardner Minshew being named the starting quarterback? Do you think it was a mistake? Do you like what Minshew brings to the table for the Raiders moving forward? Let me know in that comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that's all for you guys in today's video. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.